From Studio 3C in Rockefeller Center, this is Today in New York.
And coming up here on this Sunday morning, we're taking you to Broadway for a peek at the newest shows hitting the Great White Way.
You're watching Today in New York.
It is awards season, that time of year when the best actors, actresses, writers, and directors are honored for their works. But some of the best performances are not limited to the small or big scenes. Broadway is bustling with new shows. Steve Schonberg is the editor of CenterOnTheAisle.com, and he's here to share some of his top picks for the season. Steve, always good to see you. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me back, Gus.
You say The Last Ship is terribly underrated. It has a big star, but it's on the process of closing right now, isn't it?
It's pretty sad. I got to say, it's one of the most underrated shows of the year. I absolutely love the show, but it is closing. It's a great story about shipbuilders in northern England, and a beautiful love story. And it's all about, uncertainty and how do you build a life after you don't know what's going to happen. Any fans of Sting? He's got a beautiful score. Now he's actually in the show. Yeah. So if you like Sting, why not see this show? Unfortunately, it's closing next week, so I encourage all viewers to go run out, get tickets. And the good news is there are discounts available, so it really could be accessible to many people.
A bunch of big names coming to Broadway. Jake Gyllenhaal's coming back.
Sure, Jake Gyllenhaal back. He had his off-Broadway debut a couple of years ago, and now it's his Broadway debut in Constellations with Ruth Wilson, who, of course, won the Golden Globe last week for The Affair. So perfect it's called Constellations because it's quite the starry cast. What's important about this show is the description's a little daunting. It's all about parallel universes. Sounds a little weird, but what I'll boil down for viewers is to say it's not that weird. It's all about the stories of the little things that happen in life that can change the course of everything we do, and especially our relationships. The little moments that can mean a beautiful life together or can mean us all breaking up and going in different directions.
And you've seen he can, which is always sort of the question when a big name comes. He's got the chops.
He did amazingly in If There Is, Then I Haven't Found It Yet, which was by Nick Payne, and this play is also by Nick Payne.
I'm a huge fan of Helen Mirren, and when she plays the Queen, it's always remarkable. So she's coming. Which the show was on the West End for a while, right?
It was. She is now essentially the Queen. She won the Oscar for the movie The Queen. She did this show in London, and now she'll be bringing it to Broadway. It's a terrific show. It gives an inside look on the true meetings that happen between the Prime Minister and the Queen every week. There's a guarantee they will never repeat what they talk about outside of their meetings, even with their families. So it's a cool, very political insight. But what's even more important is we're talking about a monarch who's been on the throne for over 60 years. She worked with Winston Churchill. So just to have that sort of insight to know this amazing woman who, to us, seems so stoic, but she's led a country for so many years and so successfully.
Big musical. I always think of Madeline Kahn on the original cast recording from decades back, but another big name is going to be a couple of big names here for on the 20th century. Great show.
Sure. Well, a lot of people know Kristen Chenoweth for TV shows like Glee, GCB, but she is a Broadway darling, probably best known as the original Glinda in Wicked. Full of energy, and this show is full of energy. It's a madcap comedy show where it's a train ride from Chicago to New York with Peter Gallagher playing her male lead, trying to convince Kristen's character to try to star in his brand new show, which, by the way, he hasn't even written yet.
Well, sometimes our broadcasts get going that way.
Yeah, sure, we got to make it up as you go.
Steve Schonberg, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. Everybody go up there and support one of our great industries, Broadway here in New York. It's 7:56. Now let's send it back over to Pat.
Absolutely. Great job, you guys. Thanks, Steve. Got me all excited.